Hello, happy Wednesday. How is everybody tonight? I am live. Just gonna get myself set up here. I'm excited to show you my card today. I know I had a poll and I really wanted to do both of them, but it would have been a little bit time consuming, and I have to run to the pharmacy after class tonight, so so I'm just gonna do the one, but I'll show you both of them, and I have a whole bunch of other ideas for you too. And we have some new products. So, all right. So how is everybody? How have you been this week? How's everyone doing? It's been warming up. We have a lot of snow melting, so that's exciting. There's more on the way, but you know, you just take the good with the bad, right? Hi Janet, Michelle is here. I'm glad you guys could make it. Yeah. So I want to show you some Happy Mail. I love Happy Mail. So this card was sent to me from my mom. She sends Valentine's. But I thought it was really pretty how she made this one. And this is using some of the Valentine things in the mini catalogs. So I think my camera's at a weird angle. Hang on. I feel like there we go. And I had the mirroring on too, so that's why. So look at that beautiful love card. This is, I think it's retired, but it's like the Blushing Bride glimmer paper. And it looks so pretty with all those flowers around the heart. So yeah. Our mail has been so goofy lately. I don't know what's going on. I thought it was the holidays, but it's February. And it's still goofy. So who knows? Yeah. So yeah. Yes, Janet. Janet says my mom makes wonderful cards, and I'm so proud of her. I remember like when I started out as a scrapbooker, and then I kind of started stamping. And so I was like, oh, I love this. This is so fun. And so like for a birthday one year, my siblings, we all pitched in and got mom a bunch of, like a few stamp sets and some inks and papers and stuff so she could kind of play around a little bit. And boy, did we create a monster. But she really enjoys it. She loves it. And it's so awesome that we can connect that way. So yeah. That's why we do this, you guys. You know, I love getting cards in the mail. I love, like, I send a lot more cards out, and, you know, people are busy. I don't expect a thank you for everyone. But if somebody gets a card in the mail and goes, oh, that's so nice that someone thought of me today, that is why we do it. So be sure that when you're making those cards, you're sending them out as well, because you never know whose day you're going to brighten. So... And Janet says she's lucky enough to get some from her. Yeah. Yeah, she sends a lot of cards. Like, I thought I sent a lot of Christmas cards, but yeah, she sends a lot of cards, and she said she was going to whittle it down a little bit because the postage costs keep going up. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to turn the camera around and get things started here. And yeah, I hope you have fun tonight. I know I will. I've been looking forward to this. I always do. I always look forward to Wednesdays. It used to be that, you know, that hump day, and now it's like, ooh, Wednesday, Facebook Live. I get to stamp tonight. And there's some weeks that I'm just too busy and I don't ever get to get in my craft room. But having that Wednesday night Facebook Live coming up is like, oh, I have to make the time. So it's been good for me. it forces me to be creative. So I was gonna see if I could find those dies that my mom used right away. Oh, I love all of this stuff. Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, this is it here. It's part of the Love You Always suite. So it would be these floral heart dies right here that she used. I just love them. They're so pretty. So what else have I got here? Some of this is sitting here from last week. Get rid of that. I like to put cards on my windowsill, but I don't always notice the snow because there's snow out there. Celebration is almost over. Like, you have 4 more days. So if there's something you want, be sure to get it. Paper pumpkin, again, some of you are monthly subscribers. If you purchase a 3-month prepaid subscription, you get that celebration product. So if that's something you're interested in, you know, you can go on my website and purchase a code, or if you need help, let me know, so that you're not missing out on those celebration rewards. We've got the Hey Chick and the Hey Birthday Chick bundles available. These aren't in the catalog, so I printed out a flyer. If you want any information, it's either on my website or let me know and I'm happy to send you the information, or we can have a call or whatever you prefer. These are fun little products, and I've seen tons and tons and tons of people making just the cutest cards and stuff with them. So, and this is our new stuff. This is what I'm going to be using tonight. I'm just going to leave that there because sometimes I can't remember the words. But so this was the card that I'm going to adjust just a little bit. That I put up a poll on my Facebook and my Instagram page that I wanted to know which card you wanted me to make. And so this is the one that won. And I'm kind of glad because the purple one had a little bit of fussy cutting. And so I don't really like fussy cutting. But, you know, it's okay once in a while. But I did a lot of it actually over the weekend, and I'll show you some of that stuff later. So we're going to make this card tonight. But I decided I wanted to change things just a little bit. So in this sample, I used Blushing Bride. And I'm actually going to use Rococo Rose tonight because this is a retiring in color. And I want to use up some of my paper and my ink pad. It's, you know, because I think, let's see, it would be retiring at the beginning of May. So you only have a few more months to use this color, or to get this color, if you don't already have it. So I'm going to use Rococo Rose tonight, but it's going to be the same card otherwise. So I want to show you the new products. Let's see. This is our new stamp. It's called Butterfly Brilliance. I think the name of this whole suite is, it's called the Butterfly Bouquet Suite. So you get the stamp, and this is actually one big stamp with all these butterflies on it. And so it's really cool because you can just ink up one, you can ink up the whole thing. But what happens is we have these dies, and this is one big die that coordinates with the stamp. So like the first thing I did is I stamped the butterflies in black, and then I cut them out. And then I had 6 different butterflies that I could color. And it was just amazing. I was in love. I was hooked. And there's some other dies here too. There's some really bitty butterflies. There's some backgrounds. This one makes kind of a cross-stitch background. There's some bricks here. This actually cuts out separate bricks. There's some little butterflies, and then there's these, and these make detailed cutout butterflies. And so, oh, I just love this. I've been using it. I'm going to show you some of the cards that I made. But what I'm going to use tonight is this big stamp. Oh, there's also paper. So the other thing is, this is the Butterfly Bayou 6x6 Designer Series paper. And so you get some patterns that are like colorful backgrounds, and then you get some butterflies. And this piece actually lines up with the dies. So I cut these out, and so then I had a whole bunch of more butterflies to use. And then I still have like a background sheet to use. So yeah, I haven't used it yet, but I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do with that, because you can't waste paper, right? So, oh, I just love this paper. And then we've got some teals and some little butterflies, and there's so many colors in here. And I know some of the comments I'd gotten the other day were like, oh, I love everything butterflies. Well, here you go, you guys. Oh, look at this. I love monarchs. And there's clouds in the background. Love it. And I love the splatters too. And there's some more butterflies. And a teal. I love that teal paper. And more butterflies. So, and then what else have we got? Oh, then there's this beautiful, this is called the Natural Touch Specialty Designer Paper. So the one side, this is 12 by 12, and this side is wood grain. So I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like wood grain. It's very, very pretty. And then the other side is more of a natural textured kind of feel. So if I get real close in there, you can maybe see. And I know it's really hard to see, but it's very pretty. So, and this is 12 by 12. And so you can purchase all of these products separately, or you can get them all together as a bundle. So it's the stamp set, the dies, the paper, both papers, the 6x6 paper and the 12 by 12 paper. So, or you can, you can buy them separately, or you can choose to bundle. You save 10% when you get the stamp and the dies together. So, yeah, so that's what I'm going to be using tonight. And if anyone has questions, pop in here and ask. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my camera stand again tonight, you guys. Hold on. Hopefully it's tight enough now. I may have to make that a priority because it's really driving me nuts. And I don't like that it's always jiggling along. I want you guys to have a better viewing experience. So I'm going to mount this on my big block. And this is the stamp I'm going to use tonight. And I'm also going to be using the Happy Thoughts stamp set. This was one of our demonstrators who hit $1 million in sales. That's a huge achievement, and Stampin' Up! Really likes to recognize those people that do that. So she got to design this, and this is what she came up with. She just wanted some greetings for the fronts and insides of cards. So this is what I'm going to use on my card tonight. And let's see here. I'm going to start with my base, and again, I'm using Rococo Rose. And I'm going to make sure I crease that good. And then I've already embossed this, but I wanted the Pinewood Planks embossing folder on there. So I embossed it ahead of time. And I'm going to glue that down. I made sure my glue was running before I started the camera. Sometimes it just sits for like 10 minutes and then it gets hard. And this is a pretty simple card, but what I'm showing you tonight is what I've always called the Faux Tile Technique. And this is something that I, remember a couple weeks ago I was going through my old boxes of cards and I came across this and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't done that in forever. So I started doing it and I made a ton of cards using this technique, so I thought I'd show you. You can use a paper trimmer or whatever you have handy. I happen to have my Simply Scored tool. I love this platform. It sits right here on my countertop 24/7. I use it all the time. So otherwise you can use your paper trimmer. Usually has a scoring blade on it or something. So what I'm going to do is, this paper is cut 3 inches by 4 inches, and I want my tiles to be 1 inch by 1 inch. So I'm going to score at 1 inch and 2 inches, and then I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to score again at 1 and 2 and 3. So these are 1 by 1. Simple. Very simple, isn't it? Okay, so now I want to stamp. And I'm going to bring my stamp in and my Rococo Rose ink. And I like these big stamps. I like to ink them upside down, because then I know I got good coverage. Sometimes when you're trying to put this big block into your little stamp set, or your little stamp or ink pad, the other way, I struggle with it. So for me this is easier, but everybody is different, and do what's easiest for you. But this way I can see that I'm getting good coverage. And I don't want any lines either, so that's kind of why I like the small tap, tap, tap. Oh, and I just stuck my hand in it. This ink pad, I can tell it hasn't been used a whole lot because it's really stiff when I open and close. And I'm going to grab a wipe to wipe my knuckles, because I don't want that ink to end up somewhere it shouldn't be. And that's why I always keep these handy in my drawer. Right? Okay, so now I'm going to stamp these onto my tiled paper. And I'm just going to press down. I want to get good coverage. And sometimes it sticks. You can grab your scissors or your pokey tool and just pop it out. Just like that. So now, let's get rid of that. Isn't that pretty? Love it. So now I'm going to take my crumb cake ink, and this is where the fun comes in. So I've got a sponge. I've always put a tab on the top of my sponges since, I don't know, some years and years and years ago. I saw someone do it, and I did it too. But I'm sponging ink around the edge of my paper because I want it to look aged, vintage, antique, whatever term you like to use. And I like the corners especially dark. And then And then I don't want too much ink on the sponge because I don't want those lines, but I want to get it inked up. And then I'm going to just rub my ink around because I do want to cover the paper. You know, again, I want it to look aged. And you can see that those quote tile lines are just really bold. And so you can darken this or lighten this as much as you want. And when I'm showing you my samples tonight, you'll see all the different variations that I did, and you know, some are lighter and some are darker, but so that's how I do the faux tile technique. So now I'm going to put this on my card. I want to stamp a greeting, and I'm going to use happy birthday. So I'm going to stamp that. And I'm using very vanilla, by the way. I don't know if I said that. I'm going to let that dry for a minute. And get this out of the way. And so then I've got, let's see, this piece was 3 by 4, so I cut a 3 3 1/8 by 4 1/8 piece just to layer underneath here, because now you can really see how aged that looks when you see the regular vanilla poking out behind it. It makes a big difference all of a sudden, doesn't it? Oh. Looks like the clog came out. All right, so I'm going to attach this to here. And I want to make sure that's not crooked. Love that. It's so pretty. All right. Grab my punch. I'm using the Everyday Label punch to punch out my happy birthday. So if you're watching tonight, make sure that you're leaving a comment so that you get in the drawing. And that I know you're here, and so I can say hi. And even if it's later, if if you're not watching live and you're watching the replay, be sure to leave a comment. So I want to be sure that I say that. And then what else? Oh, I left my ribbon. Hang on. I forgot to grab it before the show started. So I'm using this beautiful ribbon from the Forever Fern suite. Can't put it away. It's so pretty. So I'm going to cut my edges straight like that. I already made the bow because I was in the middle of something earlier and I made it and then I left it. But then I want a piece to go behind. Let's see. There we go. Sometimes I have trouble getting it moving. All right, so I'm gonna stick this down. And then stuff kind of frays at the end, so that is gonna look a little frayed but there's not much you can do about that. It's just the way the ribbon is made. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. Nope. Let's see. So Michelle says she agrees. She loves sending cards to people when they don't expect one. Exactly. So I put this down, like when I did my original card, I did it a little bit crooked. And I think it just adds a little bit of visual interest. There's really no rhyme or reason to it, but... And then this is gonna go, I'm gonna put a little dimensional right here on the corner to kind of keep that end steady. And then I'll put a little bit of glue. Oh, I got a rosy hair in that glue. Did you guys see it? Oh, that dog. There. And then we've got the bow. Could have sworn I just had my glue dots out. I must have put them away. Sometimes I clean absent-mindedly and I don't even realize I did it. So yeah, so what do you guys think of all the butterfly products I just showed you? I didn't know that that was coming out until the day it was released, and I was like, holy cow, and I bought it right away. And I usually, like, I have a rule about buying things, you know, you wait 24 hours, and if you still want it, then you can have it. And I was like, oh, I need that now. So I was so excited to see all the beautiful butterfly things. Okay, the last thing I'm missing is pearls. And again, I thought I had them out, but I must have dropped them in the basket. So here we are, and my sheet is almost gone. Whoops. There we go. I'm gonna put one up here and then one around here. So, okay, there is my card in Rococo Rose. This is the one that I made over the weekend with Blushing Bride. And I think they are both just as gorgeous as each other. So I'm struggling with my words, but that's okay. This is my show. So I'm going to get these other ones here. So this is the other one that I had you guys vote on. And I used that Forever Blossoms. And so I stamped a bunch of flowers on there. And I did this one with really small tiles. I think this is the 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. So you can see the difference in those squares. And that's really what I love about that technique is, you know, it's so, like, you can do whatever you want with it. I think that they just have to be even, really. So when I'm deciding what size paper I want, I just want to make sure that it's going to make those squares even, you know. So I try to keep it like 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch or something. This is another similar one to the one I did tonight. I did all those butterflies in blue, and then I actually stamped them in blue. and I use my blender pen to just kind of color them in, and that turned out really pretty. And I just did very little inking around the outside, not a whole lot. So the middle is pretty much just, I think that's Whisper White. Yeah, it's Whisper White paper, so you can see a lot more of the white on there. And then this one again, I did the smaller tiles, and this turned out really nice as well. This was almost the one that I was going to do tonight, and I thought that just turned out really pretty. And then I inked around the edges of the greeting as well, so that really fits in with the vintage antique kind of look. And then this one, I used that art gallery flower. Love this flower. And again, I did the smaller tiles, and this is actually the Whisper White ribbon with the silver trim, and I colored it with my blends because I didn't have any yellow ribbon. And so I think that turned out really well. I love this card. And when I made this one, then I made this one at the same time, and it's kind of the same thing, but I used the pool party and the coastal cabana. But I did a lot of inking around the edges. And on this card, I actually used, so on the card I did tonight, I told you that I used the crumb cake ink. And on this one, I used Sahara Sand, which is a little bit lighter than this. And then on this one, I used Soft Suede, which is darker. So you can kind of see the difference in what you're going to get, you know, as far as antiquing goes, with depending on which ink you use. Now, this is Whisper White paper, so I sponged it really well because it's real muted. But, yeah, I mean, the possibilities are really endless. And then I had to make one with the new perennials. It's a stamp set called Pretty Perennials. And so I did one with all of those. I just stamped a ton of flowers across it. And I didn't ink it. I didn't do any vintage. I just wanted the tile look in the background. And so that turned out really nice. So I'm kind of patting myself on the back over here looking at this beautiful stack of cards. You guys, stop me. Okay. I have a few butterfly cards here, just a few more, because I want to show you the beautiful butterfly things. So this is a card that I made with that beautiful paper, and these are two of the butterflies that I cut out of that one sheet of DSP. And again, I'm just using the stamp set that I used tonight, Happy Thoughts. And because it doesn't really come with any words. And so to me, they coordinate together perfectly with the butterflies and the happy thoughts. I mean, I think that they're the perfect match. So I had those two sitting on my desk all weekend, and I just went to town, I guess. And so then I had this one. These I stamped. So I inked up the stamp and I stamped it on the DSP that was kind of rainbow mottled background look, and cut that out. And so I had all these butterflies and I stamped the butterflies in the background as well. And so that turned out really pretty. And then this one, I love the way those look with that brick background in the background. And so this isn't the brick that came with the dies. This is the brick. It's called the Brick and Mortar Embossing Folder, I think. But I think those butterflies look gorgeous on that folder. I'm sorry, I just realized you guys probably can't see because my camera's at a weird angle again, so I'm so sorry. I'll have to pay better attention to that. And then this one, this is that wood grain what is it called? It's the Natural Touch specialty paper. And so you can see the wood grain on there. And it's so pretty. And then this is one of those butterflies, the detailed dies that you can cut out. And then I made a fun fold. I love this fun fold. So I had some of this paper, and this is the back side, and I had just enough strip left to put at the bottom there, and that beautiful butterfly. And this color is actually the magenta. It's Magenta Madness. It's one of our new in colors. So, and then this one, I wanted to use that other side of the Natural Touch specialty paper. So this is the back side of the wood grain paper. And again, it just looks really textured. It looks really soft. And those butterflies just look gorgeous on there. So yeah, all sorts of new products. Let's see. Michelle likes the darker one better. And then she asked, what is the name of that saying stamp? Oh, the Happy Thoughts. Is this the one you meant? This is in the new January to June mini catalog. So I love these sayings, and I love the font, and I think she designed it really well. I love it. So yeah, page 28, and it was by Million Sales Achiever Jackie Bolheis. So way to go, Jackie. You designed a gorgeous set. So that is all I have for you guys tonight. Oh, I was gonna see if there were any more questions. So Chriselle says yellow is pretty too. Yes, they're all very spring. It's kind of what I was channeling this weekend because it was snowing and it was ugly outside. And Janet says, wow, girl, you really went to town making all these cards. They're fantastic. Thank you so much. I had some uninterrupted time in my craft room, and it made me very happy. That doesn't happen very often. And even though I am an empty nester, you know, I still have things that demand my time, and so I was very happy to have some time this weekend. And so, all right. Well, I think that is everything, you guys. I am trying to think of what I have going on next week. I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure I will share when I know. Oh, I have a winner. The winner from last week is Chriselle. So I'll send you this card. I actually have an envelope for you with some other things sitting on my counter. So if you guys are waiting for something from me, I'm so sorry. I ran out of postage. I haven't had a chance. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to run to the post office. You know, the working for a living thing really kind of gets in the way sometimes. And so, so hopefully by the weekend, all of my mail will be out the door. Chriselle, I'm going to put this in with the other stuff I'm sending you. And then I can say, boom. Sometimes I feel so bad when I don't do what I say I'm going to do. So, okay. I think that is it. Like I said, I have to run to the pharmacy tonight. So, I'm going to get going. Yes. Yay, sister. I love that you guys watch. It just makes me so happy. So, okay. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you back here at 6 o'clock next Wednesday, and I'm sure you'll hear from me way before that. My VIP group, I'm actually going to be posting a new project share there tomorrow, and so if you're in there, make sure to watch for that. and it'll be like, I'll post a picture of the card in the post, and then there's a tab in the group that says files, and that's where you're going to find each month's project, and it'll be a PDF. So if you ever want to go back and look at those, they'll all be there as time goes on. So thank you guys for watching. I love that you join me every Wednesday night. It means a lot to me. So have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.